welcome to the Balls Not Court podcast here. Cortez back.
From his nap.
From my nap. My partner over here, Kevin, who had the hosting responsibilities, did a wonderful job.
Oh, shut. Stop kissing ass.
He held it down. I listened to the podcast, and I want to give you and John props. Both of you gentlemen did a wonderful job.
Oh, we try.
Hey, man.
We try.
We love you as the role that you come in and give us the comedy and give us the great sports information that you always do. But it was a different. You was more calm at moments.
I was more monotone.
Yeah, you was very calm and everything like that. So it was very interesting to listen to that side of you. But I'm here to resume that part, so you can go back to being your crazy self with the sports and all the great analysts that you give us. So welcome back to your wonderful role that you will be back in today. But you can always play host again if you want. Kevin's like, well, whenever.
Just get to the point. No,
all
I'm just
right.
kidding.
All right, let's get to the point. Well, I'm glad to be back, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to talk about the NBA's schedule. They released it last night. And, yeah,
we're reaching when we're talking about the NBA schedule.
Well, I'm excited. Kevin's like, football.
Look, the day I give a crap about is Christmas, because that's when I'll start watching it.
There you go. Anyways.
And what's happening on Christmas? The game I told y'all that was going to happen on Christmas.
We did predict it.
I even said where it was going to be.
The Cavaliers will play the Miami Heat.
In Miami.
On
Christmas.
And it will be the first.
And it will be the first game between it. Exactly. So they did it right in that regard, having that be the first time they meet up. Because it would have been like, if it would have been the second time they met up. But being the first time, and it's... that's when I start watching basketball again.
All right, well.
Other than that, I'm like, basketball started back up again at football.
You just admitted that you just kind of get into it around Christmas time.
Exactly.
But the question I want to ask you, is there certain teams or certain players that you have any games or any team that whenever it comes on that you have someone on your calendar to watch? Or I know you already got the 25th song. That's obvious. You already said that. That's part of the podcast. But is there any other games that intrigue you that you would want to watch at all?
I want to see Bulls games. I want especially the first few to see if Derrick Rose is coming back into form and everything. I want to watch a few of those. Mm-hmm. I want to see how LeBron's treated everywhere else other than Cleveland. If he was treated the same way, especially if the Kevin Love deal comes through. If that deal comes through, then I want to see how all these other places, if they treat him the same way they treated the Heat whenever they came in. I want to see if that's the kind, or do they all of a sudden everybody love him again because he went back home?
This just drives you nuts, huh?
It's just stupid. Now everybody's sucking his dick because he went back home. You hated him when he went to Miami, but he's doing the same exact stuff in Cleveland, and now you people are retarded.
All right, well, from my standpoint as a Magic fan, I'm always excited to see the opening game. We're opening on the road. We're playing the Pelicans.
And y'all play opening night.
Yeah, so we are...
Your game's nowhere on TV except the Sunshine Channel.
Nowhere on TV, and it's good because I'm back and forth where I can be able to watch it.
And it'll be on the Sunshine Network.
Yeah, that's why I say I can be able to watch it.
We have that here.
But usually I have the NBA League Pass. I always select 5 teams and everything like that. So
well, you already know you can watch every single game on Sunshine Network.
Yeah, I know that. But
now that you're back in Florida,
but
when you were up there, you had to have that crap.
Oh yeah, I had to. Let's see. I always like to see. I want to see how Jabari Parker plays. So I'm okay with Milwaukee coming to play us like that. So I want to see. I'll probably try to go to some of these games with the younger talents coming in.
Oh, what date did I send you yesterday?
The
November 22nd?
Yes.
Yeah.
Every time we play the Heat, I always have that sort on the calendar. So
the 22nd, I think, is the first time we play.
Yeah.
And it's in Orlando.
So
it's a Saturday.
Beautiful. So I always have...
Saturday before Thanksgiving.
All right. Interesting. But let's see, I got the Heat.
So we're probably going to go to that one. Because tickets will be cheaper this year because nobody's going to see LeBron.
I'll take that.
Oh, yeah, I will too.
Yeah.
Instead of spending $200. We're going to charge you $200 a ticket like hell you are.
All right, so I got the Heat circle on my calendar. I don't like the Lakers, so I got them stuck on my calendar, even though they're not good.
And the Thunder.
Thunder, yeah, I like to see KD play, so that's another team I stuck on my calendar. Philadelphia, because they're going through the same phase as we are, trying to rebuild
Clippers
team and everything like that. I like seeing. I enjoy watching the battle that Michael Carter Williams and Victor had. Both of them was the first two rookies to have triple doubles in the same game. So that was pretty cool watching history that night and seeing those two rookies going off at one another. So Philly was a fun game for me to watch too. So that could be a up and coming series to watch in the future between those two teams. And now seeing Noel play in Summer League, kid looks pretty good, so it'd be interesting to watch him play. Then the rumor trade. Well, not as they sent Anthony Bennett to Minnesota, so he's not going to Philly.
He's going to Minnesota too. So everybody's going to Minnesota.
I think it's just going to be those two trades, those two teams just going to do. Philly's going to be the third team, and they were going to send Anthony Bennett.
Yeah, because then there was a talk of the 76ers trading Anthony Bennett to Detroit for Monroe.
Yeah.
But now Monroe just said he's going to sign with Detroit for 1 year.
He's going to sign his qualifying offer.
Yeah, he's just going to do the 1 year, and then next year he can do whatever.
Yeah, he'll be unrestricted, so he ain't worried about anybody playing this match game.
I still think the damn trade should be vetoed, but that's just me.
So those are the few games.
If Chris Paul could not go and play in Los Angeles with Kobe Bryant for Paul Gasol, then why the hell is Kevin Love being allowed to go to Cleveland and play with LeBron James? It makes no damn sense whatsoever. None. If you're going to veto a trade with Chris Paul going to L.A., when it was just a trade of two really good players, now you're not going to veto a trade with Kevin Love going over there, even though you know that all these people talked way beforehand, and that it was done like it was done in Minnesota back in the day with what was the name? Smith.
Joe Smith.
Yeah, with Joe Smith. It's the same thing. But they're not going to veto it. They're going to be like, oh, let's give LeBron his buddy, so he'll have somebody there. Let's go ahead and give him one. Yeah.
What?
Do it the right way. Just wait for the people to become free agents and then get them. Just do it the right way. Don't go trading all this other stuff and then tamper with the people and already agree to a contract before he even gets there, before you can even trade. It's ridiculous.
They're going to let that trade go through because of LeBron.
But I still find it horrible that they didn't let it go through when it was L.A. When that trade was more even than this trade is. Not saying that the guys that Cleveland are giving up aren't talented, but we don't know about Wiggins yet. We don't know about him yet, so we can't really say.
Yeah, that
Chris Paul was already established, and they were giving Paul Gasol, who was already established, for Chris Paul. It was a fair flip-flop.
You talking about for that trade? I remember that trade being one-sided.
No, it was.
Bad.
Paul Gasol was going. It was basically Paul Gasol going for Chris Paul. Is the two names that was in that thing.
There were some other people. I can't remember. I had to look it up.
But it wasn't. It wasn't.
I felt that trade was very, very lopsided. I can't remember exactly, but I remember at the time I saw that proposal, I'm like, wow, that should be rescinded. This right here, I don't mind too much because they're getting Andrew Wiggins, and they're getting Anthony Bennett, and they're getting a couple more draft picks as far as Minnesota. The only thing that should be questioned is that, they have a contract agreement ahead of time. That's the only thing that, in my opinion, that should be questioned. But as far as the piece that they got back, that doesn't bug me too much. Man, this was a few years ago, but I remember I saw that proposal, and it was terrible. And now, because that was the same year too that I know Dwight was going to try to go to the Lakers too. So it was all setting up the pieces for them to build up a super team. And
so here was the trade. New Orleans would have got Lamar Odom for the Lakers and Kevin Martin, Luis Scola, and Gordon Dragic from the Rockets. Mm-hmm. That's who they would have got. In addition, the Hornets would have received a Knicks first-round pick in 2012, and the Rockets would have got Paul Gasol from the Lakers.
Oh, you know why they rescinded? Because the NBA owned the Hornets that year.
Well, no, they own.
That's why,
yeah.
because they own the Hornets, and they was like, well, hold up, how can you make that trade when you don't have a owner in place?
And the only person,
that's why
and the only person they were giving up to the Lakers was Chris Paul.
And see, that's why I think everybody had the outroar, because the NBA owned that when they was trying to find an owner for them. That was the outroar of that.
But
that's why people was getting mad about it, because the NBA owned the team at the time.
But that trade's not one-sided.
But still,
that's not even two-sided.
What you think as a fan when you had an NBA that owns that team?
I told them,
and you trade them to a powerhouse of the Lakers that's supposed to.
Would they have really?
You know you're supposed to make the money.
Would they have really been a powerhouse after they had to dump all them people to get Chris Paul? Because all it would have been was Chris Paul, Kobe Bryant, and nobody else, because everybody else was gone.
But the NBA is making
Andrew Bynum.
But the NBA is making that move, not the owner of that franchise. That's what people was questioning. That was the problem.
They also gave the fucking Pelicans the #1 pick in the draft, where they got Anthony Davis.
Yeah, but you know what? I would have accepted that if an owner would have made that, because I remember it clearly now. They owned it at that time. The NBA had ran the operation.
So if an owner would have came up with that trade, you would have been all right with it.
Huh?
So if that would have been an owner-done trade, you would have been all right with it.
Yeah, I wouldn't feel like it would have been, here come conspiracy theories again, because the NBA is running that franchise during the time they're trying to find an owner.
But if you look at the whole, damn the owner and all that stuff, look at the trade itself. It wasn't making the Lakers really that much better, because they were losing so many pieces in the trade.
Here's the thing, you get that because you trade his bird rights along with that, so you can give Chris Paul an extension. That way, if Dwight Howard's gonna come there, boom, you got a super team. You doing this through trade? But the only way.
But
they trade his bird rights.
The only way Dwight went there was in a trade.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That's the only way they could have got Dwight there was in a trade.
But see, you extend his bird rights, so you get his bird rights.
Oh yeah, but it's still in the short term, early. It wouldn't have done nothing for the Lakers. It would have done absolutely nothing except gave them a team with Kobe and Chris Paul.
Well, I remember too, because Dwight was up for an extension that year. He was in his last year's contract. So there you go. There's a line where you can go ahead and trade Dwight his contract, and then you can extend him to a certain amount of deal. And then once the new CBA come in, they can configure the numbers, everything like that.
The Lakers wouldn't have been able to trade for him, because the Lakers would have had all this already done, and they would have had no assets to trade for Dwight Howard.
Yeah.
The Magic up the whole Dwight Howard thing from the get-go.
Yeah.
They should have traded him when they had the best deal possible on the table and let it go and been done with it. But they held out for so long, thinking that he was still going to be there and everything like that. Not saying they didn't get a good trade, which I still look at it as they got a bunch of assets going down the road, but it's what they do with it that comes to mind. But they had better trades on the table for him at the time when they could have get him, but they were so convinced that he was going to stay that they sat on it.
Yeah. All right, we went on a whole totally different topic.
That was fun, though.
Yeah, that was different. But all right, so let's get back on the schedule
I just think it should be null and void, just like the other one.
Yeah. Well, we'll see what the
But because it's LeBron, they're going to get it to him.
All right, well,
let's get him his buddy. We all know he needs people to win.
All right, transitioning to the next topic. Your thoughts on the minimum 8-day break at the All-Star game. And now, because they're getting more back-to-backs, and I want to get your opinion, your thoughts on this first, and I will chime in afterwards.
Minimum 8-game break. That means I want to see the superstars doing every stinking event at All-Star Weekend. I want all of them in the dunk contest. I want the ones that shoot three-pointers in the three-point contest. I want them all doing the skills challenges. I want them to do everything. You got a break now. Do the damn things to make people excited to see this. You got a whole week of just doing nothing. Go and do on Saturday and Sunday. Do everything. Go and do the dunk contest if you're LeBron. Go and do this stuff. Mm-hmm. Do it for. They're giving you 8 days off. Do it for the fans. Just go and do the stuff. It's not going to be that difficult, and you're going to have plenty of rest.
All right, my thoughts on it.
But I don't like it because it means more back-to-backs in the regular season. And now we're going to hear complaints. Oh, the Spurs are going to have to sit their guys like all these back-to-backs. Yeah. If you're on a back-to-back with the Spurs, don't. If they're away and it's a back-to-back game, don't go to the game because you're not going to see nobody play.
All right.
Your starting lineup will be Kawhi Leonard, Danny Green, Splitter,
Paterno,
and whoever they bring up,
Boris
the bench.
Diaw,
Yeah,
Patty Mills running point guard.
and that'll be it. You won't see nobody else.
All right. I'm on the other side, man. I actually like it. And what I hope that the NBA committee does is that now that you did this, and this is going to bring more money into, if you extend the All-Star break, I'm hoping you extend the All-Star game and the festivities itself because you get to pump more money into the city.
But I don't think they'll do that. I still think they'll continue to have it as the same amount of time.
But this is what I would recommend. And hopefully they do that because I know they got so many things in the works here that you go to these certain cities and you bring more money and more revenue into this. So, for example, like the game was in New Orleans, so you do more events and everything like that, bring more. Like, there was one year they did a competition with horse. That was pretty cool to watch. I ain't gonna lie. I actually liked that.
Yeah, but they did that during the little, whatever, what do they call it? The NBA experience?
Yeah, NBA experience.
Yeah, they did that.
So, I like that because you get to see more events, maybe the players go around a little bit more and everything like that. You get to interact with someone, hopefully, because now they're on an 8-day break. But
I think they'll still have it set to those number of days where they do it. Thursday. Yeah. What was it? Thursday, Friday, and Saturday they did the experience.
Yeah.
It was Thursday, Friday, Saturday they did the experience. And then Saturday night you had the thing in the Sunday.
There's got to be something to me that's in the works. I like it, and then for the fact, too, you do more back-to-backs.
But a week-long thing of Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. The players aren't the players.
You got to think about it because some of these, like LeBron and some of your All-Star players, they had said, like, listen,
they're old.
Well, no. Well, see, besides the games and the events, they have to be somewhere for their sponsors and events for here. They got to do shoots. They got
Orlando was nuts.
Yeah, so they got to do all these things there. So I can understand from that standpoint. Okay, yeah, they want to stand out, especially if you're a
I was mad
superstar.
when I wasn't in Orlando.
Right. So listen,
because I went to the Florida Mall and got like 400 autographs from all over, walking around doing shoe signings and everything else.
Yeah. So Anthony Davis. He got young legs.
He needs to get.
He participated in everything.
Well, he's going to have to.
He participated in everything. He did the rookie sophomore challenge games.
Oh yeah, he did everything. Yeah.
He did some events during the week, All-Star Saturday. Then he played the game. He got young legs, but you got to imagine your franchise player doing all these. Give him a break. Some of these players are franchise players, so they do all these.
Well,
they obligated to do some of these stuff because Adidas and Nike and Gatorade and everybody else pays
if you got a week of just doing autograph signings and stuff, that's fine and dandy. Mm-hmm. If you're going to have a week where people can go and get to talk and interact with all the players, that's fine and dandy.
Right.
You don't have to have some huge thing going on though every day.
No, you don't.
Because I'll liken it to this. We had the Super Bowl here. I know people are like, you did? Yes, we had a Super Bowl in Jacksonville. It was a week-long, you know how the Super Bowl is. It's a week-long celebration and everything. They had guys coming around because all the NFL converged on Jacksonville. Players from everywhere were all here. They just did a bunch of autograph signings, went to the interactive thing, played games with kids and everything like that. If the NBA can do something like that to where they have not just the scrubs, but the big names doing autograph signings, like your LeBrons, like your Carmelos, Dwayne Wade, like those guys. You have those guys go and do signings. Mm-hmm. For God's sake, we had Dan Marino doing a signing at a Sam's in Jacksonville because he was here doing a pillow thing, but he came and did an autograph signing. He wasn't supposed to sign autographs, but he ended up doing it anyway.
Right.
But that's what I'm saying. Don't get just like, I don't want to walk up and go, oh, I'm getting Patty Mills' autograph. Or, oh, hi, Kawhi Leonard, can I get your autograph? Even though people would freak out now because he's the MVP of the finals. Mm-hmm. After, 3 good games? Don't get me started on that. No, it was 2 good games and 1 mediocre one. But I'm not going that far. But have it to where everybody gets to see the big names. Especially if you're going to make it a week-long thing. But don't stress the guys out. Let them have their rest.
Yeah.
But if you're going to make it this long and you want to make it this big an event, Get the bigger names to participate in the events on Saturday night. That's the one way you're going to make it a real big thing. Look, we're giving you all this rest. Least you can do is come out here and entertain us on Saturday night. Yep. Instead of having guys that we're like, he's in the league? Doing slam dunk competitions. You're like, well, who's the biggest name to do it like lately? Paul George?
Paul George lately, yeah.
Paul George would be like the biggest name. Lately, yeah. So...
Yeah, everybody was trying to figure out who's Jeremy Evans. And he played four for the Utah Jazz, and everybody was trying to figure out who this guy was.
The who?
Yeah, and nobody was like,
who?
Where? Huh?
Exactly.
Yeah. No, I get what you're saying. I don't mind that. As far as the back-to-backs too, maybe the All-Stars and maybe the NBA committee need to get all the vendors and sponsors, whoever sponsored the athletes,
as long as
and have a committee and talk to them and say, hey, listen. This is their request here. Make sure you help do your due diligence and honor their request and everything like that. Let's try not to strain these guys here. This is a week for them to enjoy, to relax, because this is the mid-season of the NBA, and this is supposed to be fun, not work.
As long as they don't make it where it extends the freaking season into July when we go into the finals, I'm okay with it.
I mean, I know you had a rant about that back in June, but
this is... Let's lengthen the All-Star break. Here we go. Let's shrink the first round of the NBA playoffs back to what it used to be. That's another good idea.
All right, now, as far as the back-to-back situations, I mean, maybe someone need to take a role like these contender teams do. Like, there are some nights that you shorten your rotations and send out.
Old people are going. Veteran teams are going to rest their guys. And that's just the way it's going to be, and it's going to piss off a lot of people that are going to basketball games expecting to see these guys play, and they don't get them.
Well, this is what you're trying to preach to the casual fan. If you're a franchise that like, hey, we're winning, we got to save these guys for the bigger picture. But some of these people like, listen, I paid this much money.
Do I want to spend $150? It's like going to the NFL preseason game at full ticket price.
Yeah.
It's like paying $50 to go to a preseason game. Yeah. Fuck that. Hell no.
Oh, man.
No.
I'm okay with it, man. But I agree with you that they need to try to cater more stars to come. Listen, we honor your requests. And now you need to come on and come through your requests. And we need to have some big names in this event. As far as the dunk contest, 3-point shooting, All-Star Skill Challenge, everything like that. Yes, let's do that. Let's get some bigger names in here and let's go for it. And then do some events, because they always go out in the community and do something. So NBA Cares always do something during the week for the community that they're wherever they're at.
To send out your bigger guys to do autograph signings and everything like that. Show whatever city you're in that, hey, we're serious about this. And put those big guys out there to do autograph signings and everything. Bring back some of the legends and get them to do autograph signings and stuff like that as well. Just make it, if you're going to make it a week-long event, make it a week-long event that people will remember.
Yeah, I agree. I'm
because I still remember the Super Bowl when it was here. I still remember all the stuff I got to do that whole week. I took that whole week off of work to go and do stuff because there was so much stuff to go and do.
I was tempted to drive to New York and go watch Super Bowl, but it got too cold for me to even think about going. So it was tempting. It was tempting to go.
The atmosphere alone with the Super Bowl, because they got the NFL experience, and the atmosphere alone around the city, concerts everywhere. It's fun. Yeah. It's fun. If you've ever been around the city with an All-Star Weekend or with a Super Bowl or anything like that, it's always fun.
It's always fun.
And I even got a chance to go to Miami. I went to Miami when they did the Pro Bowl the day before the Super Bowl at Miami. I actually went to the Pro Bowl. And I went and done the NFL experience before the Pro Bowl and everything. And it was phenomenal. I had guys running around all over the place signing autographs and stuff like that. So just being around a Super Bowl town when that's going on is fun. It's a fun experience. So much stuff to go on. So if they can turn that whole week of All-Star Week and make it in a kind of a Super Bowl-ish feel, it'll be great for the city.
Why not? I mean, I don't see what's wrong with that. Maybe Adam Silver can reach out and try to get some ideas.
Reach out to the NFL, see what they do during
Get some
stuff, how
ideas.
to
Yeah, I
make
agree.
it. Reach out to your former players as well, your Magics, your Michael. See if they would see if they could come and participate in stuff in the community and everything like that. Like, get with Larry Bird and all of those guys. I finally got to watch the Hall of Fame stuff, speaking of Larry Bird. Why is it every person that got on that stage loved Larry Bird? I like the Nolan Richardson story when he was talking about listening to the radio and was hearing Bird going off on these people. And he was like, this brother can play. And then I found out he was white. He goes, and then I saw him and I was like, wait a minute. He's like, this brother's good. And then I saw that he was white.
That was funny.
But everybody had a Larry Bird story, which was hilarious.
Larry Bird was just the whole
Larry
thing.
Bird was the shit back in the day. Larry Bird was that dude back in the day. And when you hear, you know you're good when you hear everybody tell stories of you. And when the guy looks at Magic Johnson and said, Magic, you was my boy, but Larry Bird was my favorite player. You know Magic's sitting there going, this is cracking up.
So funny. All right, well, I want to get we're going to move on here. We're at the last segment of our NBA schedule discussion. Your thoughts on the national televised games. Who's got the most are the Thunder, the Cavaliers, and the Bulls.
No!
They have 25 games.
No.
And the Cavaliers have 4. They jumped to 25. And
no, you don't say.
And who has the least, or who has 0, are my Orlando Magic.
Let me get my shock face on.
The Bucks and the 76ers. So I want to say maybe that was what we get for tanking. I don't know.
They're like, no games for you.
So, but
no games from you.
Yeah.
And you get to play flamingos.
Yeah. So I had pull up a list here and see, and these are the games that are playing as far as not NBA TV. If you're on TNT, ABC, ESPN, those are the games.
Yeah, not just
stations.
NBA TV.
Yeah, those are the stations that they're referring to. So here's the whole list that we got right here. So
16. I wonder how many we were on last year.
25.
We had 25 last year too.
They reported that.
So we just went to 16 to 25.
Yeah, it's not a bad drop, y'all, because people was discussing thinking that Miami was going to get like 8 to 10 games. But like I say, but still, you got Chris Bosh, you still got Dwayne Wade, who both are marketable.
You still probably got the 3rd, 4th best team in the East.
They're marketable, so I mean, I wouldn't expect the far. I was going to say about 10 games too, but 16 is a good range that y'all still be in because y'all still have marketable players.
Oh yeah.
And everything like that.
You still have stars.
Yeah, so you still have stars, so you still gonna get 10 games here. So my question I
The
want
Lakers getting fucking 20.
So my question I want to ask.
What the fuck?
Well, who should get more? Who should get less? And
The Lakers should damn sure get less. I'll go through here and tell you who should get less. The Lakers should get less. I'm going to say the Bulls should get less.
You think so?
Yeah, because they're just basing it off of one dude. What happens when he gets hurt again? They're not going to have 20. They're not going to be worth watching for 25 games. Even with him back, they're not worth watching. Well, now that they added Gasol, maybe they're worth it. But I wouldn't give them 25 games until they prove themselves. Finally, Portland getting some love with 16. Yeah. The New York Knicks having 16 games. No. I don't give a crap if they are New York. No.
That's the thing that can be said about New York and the Lakers, that they're in the market that probably is going to help them get more games. And then, of course, the Lakers got one of the biggest TV deals ever known to man.
Still suck.
So, I agree with it. 20 is ridiculous for them. But I still think they should be on national TV. I think that probably should have been like at least 12.
And see,
they're in their market.
A lot of the West teams, though, we'll never see because they're on national TV at freaking midnight.
The Hawks would
win.
Let's compare Brooklyn to New York. New York gets 16, Brooklyn gets 4.
It's because everybody left Brooklyn.
Well, they still got KG.
That's it.
Paul Pierce, they said they didn't want Paul Pierce, so they let Paul Pierce go.
We traded for you, but now we don't want you no more.
I honestly think the Phoenix Suns should have got more.
Toronto? Well, we won't see them unless they're playing an East Coast team. 'Cause we'll be in bed by the time they come on.
Yeah, they're gonna be interesting to watch. They're fun to watch. They almost made the playoffs last, so I think they should have got more. The Pelicans should have got more. That's an up-and-coming team. You got Anthony Davis.
The Hornets should have got more. The Hornets are going to be fun to watch next year.
Hornets got two.
They got two.
2 games.
But the sad part is you can't. Washington getting 10. That's more like it.
Well, yeah,
they need to be a team that's going to be put on the map. How the fuck did the Kings get? Never mind. I know how they got 3 because on that side of the coast, they got to put somebody on TV on Nation TV. So they're automatic. You got to put a West Coast team on there just to have that time.
The Raptors should have got a few more. There was a fun team to watch in the playoffs. They should have got more than 4. Especially being, I mean, I know that their division is crappy, but you can't fault them for playing in a crappy division. So they're going to get the 3rd seed by default, or the 4th seed out, because I think we'll discuss that later. But I think
whoever
is kind of a central division.
Well, whoever has the better record.
But I'm okay with my Magic having 0 games. We're not there yet.
Look, you're able to watch all your games anyway. So.
Yeah. I mean,
you ain't got
as far as my league pass, because
you don't need the league pass anymore. You have Sunshine Network.
I know, but I still watch other teams.
And I know because you're going to be laying down on the freaking couch, and I'm going to come in and I'm going to be like, it's on Sunshine Network.
No, but
especially with all these new back-to-back games we're going to have.
Well, see, I want to watch. My league pass is probably going to be included. I'm probably going to watch a little bit of the Jazz. I'm interested to see Dante Asim and his growth.
You're still on the Dante.
I'm gonna have.
Don't watch the games because you're gonna get pissed if he does good.
I'll be fine.
You're gonna be like, why? Why?
I want to watch the Pistons because Stan Van Gundy's going there, and then he's going to be having Andre Drummond, and I want to see the progression of that. I think that it's going to be a dark horse to make the playoffs. And
we can watch this Philadelphia as people get hurt.
And some of these rookies too, man. Like Boston gonna be a fun team to watch too. They got Marcus Smart, and he had a good summer league and everything like that.
We'll have to watch and see if he beats anybody up.
Well, hopefully no more and don't say slurs, but that we won't
get on that. You stupid, whatever that guy called you.
Something. Sissy. How about that? We'll go with Sissy.
You stupid Jack.
So, what's your? So okay. Snake. I really now. Honestly, I would have gave Milwaukee a few games because they got Jabari Parker.
I wouldn't.
He was definitely one of the top college players last year.
Matter.
So I think he should be on national TV.
Still don't matter.
You don't think so?
It's still the Milwaukee Bucks. They still suck. They had the tank to get him.
And then they got.
Look, the only reason the people with the second pick.
They got Giannis too.
The only reason the people with the second pick in the draft got the damn thing is because that dude went back up there.
The Greek Freak, man. He's gonna be fun to watch too.
Still Milwaukee. I'm amazed they didn't get a West Coast game.
So you say the Lakers should get a decrease, and
the Lakers should get a decrease. The Knicks should get a decrease. Mm-hmm. All the teams I dislike should get a decrease.
And you're not, and you're pretty sure.
I'm glad Portland got all of these for the West Coast games.
Oh yeah, Portland. I'm glad too.
But like I said, they're all West Coast games. I'm not even freaking watch them unless they're playing East.
As far as the market, man, like I guess that's why. Like I said, this is why they get all these games.
Screw the market. The NFL don't got a team over there. L.A. Hell, New York don't even have an NFL team in it. They got to play in New Jersey. Still makes no goddamn sense to me.
Don't tell that to the your Jets and Giants.
It's New York. They're still the New York Jets and the New York Giants. I don't give a flying fuck about them where they're from. It's where they play. Goddammit. The Tampa Bay Devil Rays do not play in Tampa. They play in freaking St. Pete. They should be called the St. Petersburg Rays.
That just sounds weird, man.
It don't matter. They're
St. Petersburg.
Look, people are so stupid they don't realize there is no city named Tampa Bay. The city's name is just Tampa.
That's like you call the Piston Auburn Hills Pistons because they're not in Detroit, but they're in Auburn Hills.
They used to play in the Palace of Auburn Hills. Now they're somewhere else.
It's weird, man. All right, well, we're gonna go on a brief.
We're playing in New Jersey.
As Kevin
but now we're the Giants and the Jets. Don't get us wrong. We're in New York.
My New York listeners, I do apologize, but he loves messing with y'all.
Screw you, New York people.
Oh my gosh. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is Bosnia Court Podcast. We're going to take a brief break. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the Balls Not Court Podcast. Returning from break, so we're glad to be back with y'all. Thank you for being so patient and waiting for us while we was on break for a brief moment. And now we're finna play a game called Word Association. So
you do realize, though, that they really don't got to sit through a break. They hear music.
Well, hey, they can fast forward, skip whatever they want.
We just tell them we're taking a break.
We're taking a break.
So we probably take we could be gone for 9 hours and they would never know. We could have recorded the first part one day and then came back the next day and recorded the other part. They would never have guessed. They only heard a song.
As Kevin is trying to put conspiracy theories in y'all head.
Y'all don't know when we record this. We could have recorded the first part of this No, we could have done it yesterday because that's when the schedule came out.
We could have.
You never know.
But
or we could have all done it in one day.
I assure you.
Or maybe we could have done it in spurts.
I'll let Kevin have fun with y'all. How about that? All right, so we're going to play a game called Word Association. I'll read some of the statements that we have in today's news, current events as far as sports, football, and basketball. And Kevin, first word that comes to your mind, say it, and then just break it down what you think. All right, Lesean McCoy of the Philadelphia Eagles, the running back, said he will rush 2,000 yards. But Chip Kelly's response was, I don't care. What's the first word that comes to your mind as far as this?
Chip Kelly, you're not getting the ball enough to run for 2,000 yards. 2,000 all-purpose yards, probably. But 2,000 yards rushing, unless Chip Kelly feeds him the rock enough, then yeah, he can clearly do it. But I don't think he's going to get the ball enough to do that. But he'll be well over 2,000 all-purpose yards. No problem.
Well, they did lose Deshaun Jackson. So
it don't matter. LeSean McCoy's a damn beast.
Yeah.
He is a beast.
All right, so my word association with this, I say funny because Chip Kelly just...
He no-sold him.
Yeah, he pretty much is having the take on, like, listen, I just want to win games. I don't care about personal goals. You can set that for yourself. That great.
Chip's like, I ain't giving you the ball.
You like, as long as you contribute to the win, everything like that, that's fine. I mean, LeSean McCoy led the league in rushing last year.
Oh yeah, so, 1,600.
Yeah, just about that.
Yep.
So I mean, let's not be real. He can rush for that. A lot of yards after 2,000 is kind of hard to rush for.
He'll have well over 2,000 all-purpose yards though, just in that system alone.
I mean, the first few games we watched in Philly, they're like, "Oh wow, their offense on clicking here," and then
they dropped off. Then they dropped off, and then they moved into the Nick Foles phase.
Yeah.
And when Nick Foles came in, he was throwing freaking 5-6 touchdowns a game. That's why I went and picked him up in some of my fantasy leagues. I went and picked him up before anybody thought about it, because Michael Vick was starting, and I was like, let me get him quick.
Well, do you like Chip Kelly mindset? Like, he doesn't care. He just all about. I mean, of course, a coach should think like that. But.
Chip Kelly is a scheme coach. Mm-hmm. He thinks he's the guy that says my scheme is what makes everybody good, mm-hmm. and he's a scheme-minded guy. He thinks he can add in anybody, and then be able to do what they do just because of his scheme. So that's Chip Kelly's mindset. But if you didn't have LeSean McCoy and you had somebody else running the ball back there, I don't think it would work as well. But that's just because it's his scheme mindset.
Well,
having a freaking McCoy, you need to feed the beast.
I agree. Chip did add on there. Like hopefully he thinks last year just scratching the surface.
Yeah. We
know McCoy's talented. He's a talented running back and everything like that. So long as he stay healthy and do the right thing, then yes, you want players to set goals for themselves. But coach is going to be, listen, I'm all about winning. Yeah. If he gets down the process, great. But as long as we get the win and everything like that, because they're playing in a division that's pretty much wide open.
And I didn't even use one word.
I know. I was waiting on
hopeful.
That. So hopeful. There we go.
He's hopeful.
So there we go.
I hope things don't go wrong. I wish him up. Oh, yeah.
All right.
Oh, one movie you've watched. Kings of Comedy. Usually when I bring up a movie quotes, you don't know them. That one you knew.
I did know. But I appreciate you just like you.
Hope factors.
Yeah, the hope.
I wish a mother would.
Nice. So, but good luck to you, LeSean McCoy. I'm sure always not watching, but
not good luck to you week one.
Yeah, because he's playing good team.
No week one.
But as we're watching from a football fan standpoint, but not an Eagles fan, because we're not Eagles fans. So
no.
But whatever you do in your division, if you listen, there's one of the teams I do kind of like in the NFC East division. That's probably like the only team I like, and then that I can probably okay, they're okay. They don't get on my nerves like the Cowboys or the Giants.
Yeah.
The rest can sometimes get there. But I know Cam CL is a big fan of him, so we'll let him come in and debate that one time. But he's always going at it. So Anyways, that concludes the word associated with that topic. So we're gonna move on here. The Cowboys and the Raiders fight a few days ago. It all started with a Morris Claiborne hit against Michael Rivera, their tight end, and stood over him, and it went crazy and everything like that. So, and everybody, they get videos everywhere on the internet. So, Kevin, you saw the video. Your word associated with this fight?
Stupid.
All right, and break it down.
It was the Raiders, for God's sake. It's stupid. Anything they do that associates with fighting or anything is just stupid. And then the idiot, stupid fans of the Oakland Raiders hitting the guy from the Cowboys with a helmet, you deserve to get your butt whooped. You deserve to get dragged over the side and the crap kicked out of you for being an idiot. So everything about that was stupid.
All right, I'm gonna go with Scrappy. And this is
Scrappy.
And yeah,
what, you're gonna go with a dog from Scooby Doo?
And the reason I say Scrappy because now the whole fan side of it, yes, that was stupid. But you know, this is preseason football, and anybody that's played football before know how it is. You're fighting for a job, you're fighting for a position on the team, you're doing everything like that. So you're doing all these in front of the coach that's watching this, and you got fans out there too that's watching it. So for some weird reason they got involved, which they're stupid. But I'm all for this. I like preseason. I play football, so I've been in a couple scruffles myself.
Scruffles?
Yeah.
You've been in a couple of scruffles.
That's right. That's what we call them.
What in the holy hell is a scruffle? It's
a scrap, man. Come on. I just used that.
A scruffle.
I
thought a scruffle was that thing you use in the shower. Oh, that's a loofah.
Oh Lord. But anyways. As you picking on my lingo here.
Yes, Scuffles?
Yes.
Scuffles.
Yes, that's right.
Not scruffles.
Scruffles, yes.
Scuffles.
No, scruffles.
Scuffles.
Scruffles.
They're called scuffles.
No, scruffles.
Not There's no R in it.
Yes it is. Scruffles.
Oh my God.
Anyways, don't mess with my
words. I gotta look it up.
Listen, don't, because you already got to prove that you're right. Let me go on my point as you done try to be autocorrect here.
Scruffle.
Like I said, listen, I'm all for it. Because we all been there, and it's hot out there. This is the summer, and it's going into the fall here. It's about certain places 80 degrees, 9 degrees. It's freaking hot out there, man. And this is a guy that you hear talking trash, and now you get to play someone that is wearing a different color, and they hitting your teammate like that and stand over him. Yes, I like this. Get over him and say, listen, do not stand with my teammate like that. Nah, we're representing the Raiders right here. As far as I'm talking about the Raiders player, we represent this jersey here. You're not finna stand with my player, my teammate, who I go to war with to try to fight for a position on this team. I like fights like this, man. As long as the fans don't get involved.
And then they did.
And they did, which then made that
Oakland fans
freaking stupid. You know? Oh yeah, of course they had to be an Oakland.
It was the Oakland fans.
Yeah, of course.
That's where they were at. The Dallas went to Oakland's practice. Like, why the hell would you? What possesses you to go? Let's go practice with the Raiders, and let's go there. I'm like, what? Have you lost your mind?
What you think? You think it was Jerry Jones' idea?
Gang-related crimes everywhere around that place, and you're going to go to...
Was this Jerry Jones' idea?
Who the hell cares if it was all idea? It was the word I said. Stupid. Nothing about that was smart.
Nothing about that. So, going to play over there, do a scrimmage, and then the whole fight. So you just saying from the beginning,
everything was
from
stupid.
The get though,
everything was stupid. Yep.
All right,
stupid.
Touche. All right, so we moving on to our next topic here. The NFL is considering tougher domestic violence policies due to the criticism of the recent suspension for Ray Rice, which was only 2 games. Now they're saying that the first offense will be from 4 to 6 games. Your thought, your word. Give me a word associated and describe it, and then describe your word.
Too fucking late. I don't even got to go into that. It's too fucking late.
I'm telling you. Well, mine's going to be, yeah, you already picked too late, but I'm going to be like, why now? That's mine. Like, listen. Now,
you want to know why now? Because everybody went completely fucking nuts on him because they only suspended him for 2 freaking games.
Well,
That's why everybody.
What about Roger Goodell saying earlier this month that we got to stay consistent with this punishment?
Because now he's getting bombarded with all this crap about people beating up people and everything like that.
He had chances to kind of get this from getting this was getting worse.
He could have got it from the get-go with giving him 4 games. He could have set a precedent by giving him 4 games like he got, where he said there's no real case again. Yes, there was. The Ben Roethlisberger case was similar to this. You give him 4 to 6 games, you'd be done with it. No one would have said anything.
No.
But since you did it that way and gave him 2 games, the part that got me though was you're handing out these weed and every drug abuse things left and right for 4 games, but then you give that 2. That's what made it a big deal. That is what made it a big deal, because you were giving out 4 games for smoking weed or for doing performance-enhancing drugs, but this man hit his wife or girlfriend or whatever he was at the time, and you give him 2 games. That's why everybody got pissed off. If you wanted to make it consistent, you should have made it consistent with every other suspension that you give out. Make it almost the same as every other suspension that you get out, and nobody would have said a thing. But because you lessened it, and it was less than what the other people get for the other stuff, that's the reason why they went nuts, and that's the reason why now they're coming out going, well, we need to give it more than 2 games. Too late.
Is it kind of too wrong to name this rule the Ray Rice rule?
No.
This is going to be the Ray Rice rule
I'm going to call it the punch drunk
rule. In the
rule.
NFL Constitution and everything like that. This is going to be labeled the Ray Rice rule.
They need to call it the punch drunk rule.
The punch drunk rule. We don't condone hitting women, but
nope,
still.
But that's what it needs to be called.
But still, it's as you know, people, you saw him, and everybody know you saw him dragging his then fiance.
He drug her. It was caveman style. He was like, ugh, and dragged her out. I was amazed he didn't have a club in his hand. But it's too late.
Yeah,
they should have done it earlier. If
And
they
I'm
would have
saying
done it
right
earlier,
now.
nothing would have got said.
All right.
It just showing you that everybody else was right about it.
Yeah, it's freaking retarded. I agree. And it's good that they're going to extend it now, but it is, like you said, it's too late now.
It's too late.
Because people going to let you like, oh, so now after all this criticism that you receive, now you're going to change it?
Yep.
Good job, NFL. Roger Goodell, good job, by the way. You done a pretty
Now,
good
Adam
job
Silver
here.
needs to step up, and whenever Greg Oden decides he wants to come play again, they need to suspend him for a while.
Oh, Greg Oden.
Yeah, Greg Oden, an idiot. Greg Oden's like, I'm going to punch somebody too. Actually, he's so awkward, though. I bet he didn't even try to punch her. I bet he just hit her on, accident. What happened was his knee probably went out again, and as he was flailing with his knee, he probably just hit her in the head.
The worst pimp slap ever.
The most awkward pimp slap.
Yeah, I'm about to say, how about that? All right.
LeBron James' dad slapped somebody.
Moving forward. All right, so on the Dan Patrick Show, which I don't know why he asked this question, but he did. And this is just trying to feed the animal and everything like that. This is just being an instigator. Anyways, he asked Stephen Curry who's the better offensive player out of him and LeBron James. And of course, Stephen Curry said himself. So, word association, your thoughts on this, Kevin? Go.
Huh? That's the first thing I thought when I heard this one. Huh?
Mm-hmm.
You're a better offensive player than LeBron. You're a better shooter than LeBron. You might even say you could be... Well, you're a better shooter than LeBron. Because I can't say you're a better scorer because LeBron can score many different ways.
What's the one thing that you said when we had the discussion a few days ago? You were saying that something about Stephen Curry getting the rhythm. You said something like that. Was he gets into a rhythm as far as LeBron is more natural.
LeBron's more methodical.
There we go. That's what
on the way that LeBron does things. Because being an offensive player just doesn't revolve around scoring points. It revolves around doing everything else on the offensive end as well. LeBron can do every single thing on the offensive end. LeBron shoots better. LeBron shoots a higher percentage. He's not as clean as a jump shooter as Curry is. Curry takes a lot more shots than LeBron lately as well. So we have to take that into consideration as well. But he is a better shooter. I'll say he's a better shooter than LeBron. When he gets hot, you forget about it. He scores at will, but he doesn't score the way LeBron does. LeBron, what I told you is LeBron's an all-around offensive player. Stephen Curry is a shooter. LeBron does everything well. Stephen Curry does one thing well, and he can shoot. LeBron can do everything else well.
All right. Well, when he answered the question, he explained. He just like, well, he went on to explain saying that he is a distributor that helps get teammates ball, playmaker, and offensive man. He can shoot, he can pass the ball well, but LeBron at 6'8" handling the ball. My word's gonna be for this is trolling. First of all, Dan Patrick, why did you ask a question in the first place? Because you're just trolling. You're trying to get something out there. You didn't expect him to say me. Because everybody, you thought you were gonna get the natural standard answer like, oh yeah, LeBron. No, of course, I like this because Stephen Curry is confident in his abilities. There's nothing wrong with saying me. But of course, me and Kevin step back like this from a fan point. No way, he's better than LeBron. LeBron does so many things well, and like Kevin had broken down, he's methodical as Stephen Curry gets into a rhythm.
Yeah, but it's comparing apples to oranges.
But there were some stats that, you know, in the top 5 of win shares, LeBron was second and Curry was third. So I mean, if you throw some stats, there's kind of some validity behind it. But honestly, if you want to say who would you take on your team versus Curry and LeBron, you'd be foolish not to say LeBron.
you look at plus they play two completely different positions.
Yeah.
They're two completely different players.
Mm-hmm.
They say Curry does more assists per game and everything. Okay, because Curry's a guard.
Yeah.
You're supposed to have more assists in a small forward. But LeBron does everything well. LeBron to me makes everybody on the offensive end of the floor a better player than Curry does.
Yeah.
But that's just me. That's just watching the game. I just know Curry can shoot the hell out of a basketball, which is
right. Listen,
one thing I'd say is better than.
If the casual fan heard this interview, they'd be like, "What? Like all this?" and be surprised. But if you're a fan of the game and you listen, you can respect the game because if you ask someone else that question and everything like that, you probably would have got the answer like, "Well, LeBron's a better player. I got the respect for him and like that." I don't mind Curry saying me. But from the standpoint, we all saying, no, Curry, you're not. But it's cool because you got coming yourself. And for the Warriors, their fan base, their standpoint, their management, you want to see that. That's great. That's lovely.
Yeah, I have no problem with him saying it. Mm-hmm. But they're close. But I just think, like I said, LeBron does it to where it seems like it's second nature to him.
Right. So
you don't ever see LeBron. When you see him struggle, it's the whole team struggles. Right.
No, and that's the thing too. It was. I don't mind him saying that at all, but
no.
Like, nah. All right. Last word association. NBA, because recently Drake has been fined by the NBA, and I'll explain that after here. But the NBA offered,
this was stupid.
But the NBA offered to rescind the fine if the Raptors cuts tie with Drake because he is the ambassador of the Raptors. Recently, Drake had a concert in Toronto, and he was on the stage saying, quoted, "You know, my brother, Kevin Durant, was kind enough to show up to the show tonight and watch us. I just want him to see what would happen if he come out and play Toronto. Let him know what happened." And then, of course, he's got cheers and everything like that. And the NBA took offense to that and fined the Raptors $25,000. But they recently released a statement now saying that they will rescind the fine if they release or relieve Drake of his ambassador of the Toronto Raptors duty. So you said stupid, and go ahead.
NBA's butthurt
and elaborate.
It's like the NBA's butthurt if anybody says anything against one of their stars going to another place. How many times has somebody said something about Kevin Love going to the Cavs, or on Twitter or YouTube, people going, "Hey, Kevin, go to the Cavs. LeBron's back on." You gonna find all them people either? The NBA gets butthurt over too many things. Just let it go. There's my word. Let it go. Let it go. Don't find the people. Just let it go.
My word is going to be ludicrous. First of all,
Luda!
Is the ambassador a paying role in the NBA? Are they paying Drake to
No, it
promote?
says they're not paying.
Yeah,
No,
so
they're
I
not paying
don't.
anything.
So,
who cares if he said it at his live show? It was to get the crowd hyped.
So
Big deal.
basically, it's a voluntary role, and they're not paying him.
Basically, he's just a popular singer that happens to be a fan of every single NBA team.
And they find the Raptors. This would have been funny. They would have found Drake, and Drake was like, "What?" And Drake probably was like, "Okay, here, shut up. I'll give you the money. I'm a superstar. Bye."
Mm-hmm.
But it wasn't even that bad. Like, listen, when you have people in your town that's watching a show, a concert, anything like that. For example, let's say you have a football player here in Jacksonville.
Flavor Flav would have said it.
Yeah, exactly. Let's say, you would have been like, hey, we see you here, J.J. Watt. Hey, we know you're a free agent this year. Come play with us in Duval County. Come to the Jaguars. There's nothing wrong with that. This is ludicrous. This is... And then now to say that, now if you would release him from his voluntary role, which is he's not on salary, he's not getting paid for it. He's just someone who represents the Raptors. I don't see anything
They didn't
wrong
realize
with that.
he could call himself the ambassador, and they don't even have a say in what he calls himself.
NBA, did you happen to forget when the Raptors made the playoffs? Did you see that freaking rally outside? Come on,
their
man.
butt hurt.
Like, I don't get this at all. So it is ludicrous. It's beyond me that you would do that.
Just let it go.
So, what I guess if you was the Raptors, would you release Drake?
They already said they didn't. They already
did?
said they're not doing it.
They're not doing it?
No, they're just going to pay the fine.
I'm pretty sure Drake is going to probably slip him under the table like, here, that's cool.
Be like, I pay for it.
I'll pay for you, man. Or saying like...
No, what they told him is, look, here's the deal. You can't go to other places and wear other teams' jerseys and be a bandwagon jumper like you've been being.
Hey, Drake, this is what I want you to do.
You have to only wear Toronto Raptors stuff, not everyone else.
Hey, I know he would never listen to this, but Drake, this is what I want you to do. I want you to make a mixtape called Adam Silver and just come out with just funny songs of the NBA and everything like that.
I want you to make a song called I Will Only Wear Raptors Gear. You're not allowed to wear no more other team stuff.
Well, that goes for his girlfriend Rihanna too, right?
Yeah, they're all bandwagon jumpers.
Where there was a meme going around where I'm not a
he's a Heat fan. He's a wherever he's at fan. Wherever he at fan.
Oh, Rihanna and Drake, they're so easy. They're easy targets to hit, ain't they? But I agree. This is ludicrous. This is something that is pretty dumb and good for the Raptors because you got an up and coming team in Toronto. They're young. You got DeRozan who had a solid playoffs. Hopefully, you learn from it. So you want to keep anything. You want to keep the momentum going, and for probably one of the top rap artists in the game, hip hop artists in the game, to rep your. I know he reps every team.
He reps every city.
So now that he was repping Miami, he's going back to repping Cleveland where LeBron
Look, at least Pitbull is consistent.
Yeah, I agree. So, anyways, that does with word association, and we're done here. We'll get you set up here. I know you got a game to watch, right?
We're done.
Yeah, we're wrapping it up here. You got your Jazz game to watch tonight?
Yes, so we can get in some scruffles.
Yeah.
Hopefully they get in scruffles.
They get some scruffles. That's right.
I like scruffles. That's gonna be my new word.
Hey man,
even though I've never called them scruffles before.
Look in UrbanDictionary.com.
Okay, my bad. UrbanDictionary.com.
Look at this. It's there. I promise you. Well, I don't want to say I promise you.
That like chitlins, or how you say it?
Hey,
I said that right.
You know what? One day my words will be in the Merriam-Webster dictionary. Okay, so don't hate on me. You're just a hater.
All right, scruffle. I thought scruffle was what you get under your neck.
Well, technically, you want to say that under my neck
That's scruffy.
Because my hair that curls up a little bit and everything like that, and it look like it's fighting each other.
We call those pubes. He said curly hair. The only place I have curly hair is.
This is going way south. Welcome to
on my
Florida,
toes. See, you perv. You were perv, man. God, you're sick.
Oh man,
you are sick.
This is what I got to deal with, ladies and
You
gentlemen.
are a sick, twisted individual.
All right, let's close this bad boy up. You have anything else to say before I wrap this bad boy up?
No, football's on.
Football's on. Kevin finna go watch the Jags. Who y'all play tonight? You remember?
The Chicago Bears.
The Bears.
The Bears.
The Bears.
And I can watch SEC Network now.
Yeah, there you go. And for our fans who actually is in the South.
Well, not just in the South. It's everywhere.
I know it's in the South, but you got.
Yeah, the SEC Network launched tonight. Just to let everybody know, it's going to be all SEC all the time, and they're doing football. But every sport is going to be shown on the SEC Network. So it's going to be one of those things where if you're a fan of the SEC, which some of you listening probably are. Yeah. Some of y'all up north probably don't even know what college sports are because, well, let's be honest. All your college teams up there suck.
I can definitely plus one that because when I was up there, I always talk about college sports. They looked at me like I was a ghost.
Well, they don't care. They do not care about. The only place they care is like Ohio and then stuff like that, and then they only care to a certain amount.
They had a leading rusher in Boston College. They
don't care. They don't care.
They do.
It's because they don't care about a lot of northern places like New York. They could give two flying rapitudes less.
I connect with one of my buddies who happened to live in Florida. She went to USF, who I work with, and we talked about college football all the time. And then one of my assistant manager that worked there, he was an Ohio State fan. So
I'm sorry.
I let him hear it because I was Gator and everything like that. So I make sure like, hey, enjoy our goods here.
But they don't know because they always talk about the passion of New York fans for the Giants, the Jets, and the Knicks.
Oh, as far as pro up there,
yes.
Pro sports up there.
But the thing is,
fantastic.
But the thing is, even their pro, even the way they're passionate about their pro sports and everything, to me, it doesn't even come close to the amount of passion you see in the South for college football. To me, I've seen the different passions you have from these different teams and everything. I just think that if you want to see the most passionate sports fans about anything, come down south and go to one of these college football games in the Southeastern Conference, and you will see some of the most passionate people about one place and one sport, or whatever sport's going on. Mm-hmm. But you will see the most passionate fans anywhere in the country is in the South when it comes to college sports.
Yeah, down here. I know.
I will put the big schools fan bases up against any pro teams fan bases as far as passion and as far as knowledge about their team goes. I will put any of all the big schools. I put any of it up against any of those northern pro teams. We know more about our junk down here than they know about their junk up there. But they don't know.
Well, hey, Massachusetts is serious. I'm just saying that. Massachusetts is serious, man.
Well, they're
New York is different. I can agree with New York, but
they're serious
living in Massachusetts, man. I'm telling you,
they're serious about their baseball. They're serious about a team that doesn't play in Boston, the New England Patriots. There's another thing; they don't even play in Boston, so they named them correctly. They named them New England. So they got the whole. Yeah. They had that whole little section.
Oh,
so
yeah.
They got that.
I live about an hour away from Foxborough.
So they got that and just naming them New England. They named them a section. They were like, let's not name it Boston because then we'll throw everybody off. Let's just name it New England.
And when I tell you them guys are crazy about freaking hockey.
Oh yeah, but the way I see it.
Oh yeah. To New York, yeah.
You bring it down here though, and it's a completely different animal.
It's a wash for me. It's about the same.
Yeah, it's a complete.
To Massachusetts, but New York, yeah, I agree.
But see, here you go, Cortez. Have you been?
Oh, I have.
Have you been?
I've been to some Gator games. Yes.
Have you been to a big? Yeah, I'm not saying when they play Idaho or those guys. Mm-hmm. I'm saying, have you been
when they
play Tennessee or Alabama at home or Florida State? Yeah. If you've been to one of them games, the intensity, the passion, everything is ramped up about 40-fold. I'm taking you to something in October.
Oh yeah,
that will solidify anything you have ever thought about. As soon as you go to this, you'll be like, you'll see two of the most passionate Southeastern Conference fan bases in one spot at one time all together. And then you'll sit there and go, yeah, I'm done. You'll go to that and you'll go, holy shit, this is one of the craziest ever thing. Because I'm spoiled because I've been to it before and I'm used to it. But when an outsider goes to it that's never been to one before and just goes, your jaw will drop and you will go, holy cow.
Trust me, I had that experience going to a Red Sox game. But I love that experience. So I agree with you. I'm willing to see it. And I'm saying it's even about that way. New York, man. But yeah,
New York, they don't care unless they're winning. Yeah. New York cares less about anything unless they're winning. They care when they're winning. They bitch, whine, complain more than any other fan base in the history of fan bases. They complain more than anyone. And I want a New York fan to tell me otherwise. You complain more than anyone. You make up more excuses for your teams than anyone instead of just accepting the truth that you suck. When New York fans can actually accept a truth on their teams that they suck, that's when they become a more passionate fan. Instead of making excuse after excuse after excuse, well, this guy's hurt, that guy's hurt. Instead of doing that, just come up. I had more respect for you if you just came up to me and go, you know what, we suck this year.
And I ain't gonna lie, I met a few New York fans like that. I met a few.
Very few. There's very few. But then you have more of that majority that'll make up 4 gajillion excuses to why they lost. People come up to me, well, what happened to your Heat? Well, we suck. There you go. There's no excuse for it. They played like absolute garbage. You want to hear the truth out of me? I'm going to tell you what happened.
Yeah, I'll tell you my magic.
Last year when the Gators were losing, they come up to me, what's wrong with you Gators? Well,
same here.
We got all these injuries,
and
we're playing like shit.
Same here.
I was like, there ain't nothing I can do about it. We suck. We suck. We played like absolute garbage, and everybody on our team gets hurt. Injuries are not an excuse. If you can't get over injuries, your team sucks because you have no depth. If you can't get over injuries, you have no depth, which means your team sucks. People are like, well, you're Jaguars. Well, we're rebuilding. We're coming back up. That's no excuse. We should have still at least put out a product that competes. At the end of last year, we competed.
Yep.
This year, I expect us to be better. If we're not better, then you'll hear me say it. I don't know why we're not better, but we're not better and we still suck. That will be what I say. I will not make 4 gajillion excuses on why my team sucks and still not tell you that my team sucks. I will not sit there and go, well, my team should be this, this, and this, but we're not. Well, why is your team not that way? Well, because it didn't. Well, is it because you suck? Because that's what it all comes down to. If you suck, just admit you suck. And New York fans can't admit it. They can't admit it. They'll put the blame on everybody else, but they will not admit they suck.
Hey, I agree with you, man. Just like my manager, I said, hey, we're suck, man. We're suck. We suck. We do suck. My Broncos in the Super Bowl. Well,
they suck.
We sucked in the Super Bowl. We didn't show up.
They suck.
You gotta admit it, man. Everybody loses every now and then.
Just like when I said about the Heat, they mentally were out of it. They didn't feel like playing, and they sucked.
There's nothing wrong with it, man. Sometimes your team does well, sometimes they don't.
But they won't. New York fans do not like admitting shit. And you know I'm right, because you're over here laughing. We know a shit ton of them that will not admit that they suck. They will make every excuse in the godforsaken book except just admitting the fact that your team is not good.
That's why I said there's been some good fans and some bad fans, but more bad than good from New York.
Especially from New York.
Yeah, I agree.
Now I met good friends from Boston. Boston, I've met nothing but good people that admit if their teams are horrible because they have the passion.
Their fans are awesome.
They have the passion.
Dude, I love it when I watch one of the Boston fans. They're so passionate.
They have a passion about their stuff because really that's what they've grown up on and everything. Especially if you grow up on it.
And when there's nothing but snow inside, and I can speak from experience,
and
you sit down and watch the TV, and if it's sports on there, you're watching it.
Yep.
That's all you're doing, man.
Yeah, we do it here when it's hot.
Oh, yeah, we do it here when it's hot.
We do it here just because we want to watch sports.
Oh, yeah. There's an excuse for us to go out to
we go out and play
party
it
and everything like that. Cool. I'm cool with that. All right, well, we'll wrap this bad boy up. That was a Kevin session there ran from SEC to New York fans and Northeast fans. But, hey, college football is coming back. SEC Network.
I'm telling you, and if anybody wants to argue with me about the passion of the Southeastern Conference over any other conference or anything, you feel free to bring it on. And I'll just rattle you off a stat that they rattled off on the SEC Network. 210 national championships in sports. Men's, women's, everything. 210 national championships. All you have to do is look at football recently to find out we're pretty good.
All we do is win. SEC.
And we play softball. Florida. We call off. We do everything.
Oh, yeah. All right, let's wrap this bad boy up. All right, make sure you follow us on Twitter.
As I was drinking out of the
As you drinking a Make sure you follow us on Twitter. You can follow the show at Balls Not Court. You just go to Twitter, check us out. My Twitter name is in the minus CP.
Mine is Kevin C2415.
All right, we do also have a Facebook page, so make sure you go visit us there at facebook.com/Balls Not Court Podcast. Go into the search key, type in Balls Not Court Podcast. Most likely it'll pop up. You can get us there. Hit us a like if you could, please. Make sure you do also as well visit the Hardwood Nation at www.thehardwoodnation.com. It's the fast NBA news source made by fans for fans. A blog and tribute for the site. Hope we'll be back there soon, as I know CL is still yelling at me. But
screw him.
But as soon as the preseason come up, I'm pretty sure.
Screw him. He can't even come on. But never mind.
Honestly, this is me and Kevin's show. So if anybody, I don't care. If they want to come on, great. If not, it doesn't care. Me and Kevin.
Next week he better be on because next week you people are in for a treat. Y'all are going to hear on air, live, the Balls in Our Court podcast fantasy football draft.
Dun, 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 dun.
So next week we're actually going to have everybody, people who are participating in it, we're actually going to have them on. And for the minute or however long Yahoo gives us to draft, we're going to draft and then we're going to draft our teams.
Discuss it.
And then we're going to discuss it. And we're going to have, so next week's going to be a field day.
Yeah, sure.
And it's probably going to be a 9-hour-long show.
So
we're going to be on 3 different computers.
Oh, yeah.
Tablets, everything doing this draft.
So it's going to be me, Kevin, CL, John, Nick, Kenny, and Justin, I believe. And there's one more I'm working on. So we'll have it'll be a fun time.
Will that be an odd number? No.
Yeah, I think we got 7, so I need one more. But we'll figure it out. We'll get that arranged there.
Yep.
Anyways, make sure you check us out on iTunes, Stitcher, Spreaker, Podomatic. We're everywhere. SoundCloud, YouTube. Yes, we're on YouTube now. TuneIn Radio. I'm reaching out to plenty of podcasts. I just got a list where I can try to get the podcast out everywhere. So most likely I'm going to extend it even further more. You can get this in Mars. Let's be real. You can get this podcast in Mars.
On the rover?
That's right.
On the rover.
That's right. You can check us out on Mars. So if you travel somehow in your spaceship and go to Mars, hey, check us out on the podcast.
We're going to get in Scruffles.
Yeah, we're going to get
on Mars.
Scruffles. That's right.
On Mars.
UrbanDictionary.com. Check it out.
I got to look it up.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it was once again a fun show. And like I said, what's coming up, we'll be talking about the fantasy draft. We'll be doing that live. But ladies and gentlemen, we do want to thank you for listening to the Balls Not Court podcast. And y'all do have a good evening. Take care, guys.
Bye.